Hey everybody, how's it going? I just finished mowing the lawn and it looks pretty good. Could be the last mow of the season, of the year. We'll see. Seriously, helicopter never fails. Every time I'm outside and I want a video, a freaking helicopter has to fly over. Or a jet. Where is he? Where is he? Should be coming into view. Here he comes, right over my house. Trying to make a video here, hey? Sorry about that. They don't check with me before they determine their flight patterns. Anyways, I'm just sitting here resting because it took me about 2.5 hours to mow the lawn. Almost 3 on a riding lawnmower, mind you. But I'm slow. It's my first real time doing the whole lawn. I only crashed once. So that's bonus. Okay, let's give a little tour of the yard in September. I did a lot of weeding yesterday. Those are poppies. I don't remember planting them, but I must have. They're sure pretty. Real pretty pink color. They're such a wild looking flower. And there's still lots of buds coming. So that's cool. Of course, my beautiful little pansies and coleus, I planted those from seed. Well, I grew those from seed. And I filled this whole bed with pansies and coleus. And it's just kind of wild looking. I guess that's what pansies do. They get real leggy. But they're sure pretty. I'll get in a little closer so you can see their little happy faces. Aren't they cute? And this coleus went good guns. Great guns. Yeah, I had lots of pretty colors and stuff for my pansies. Also planted some rudbeckia in here, but I wasn't crazy about it. I don't think I'll start rudbeckia again next year. Here I just tucked some in on the end, and just some more pansies. Look at the color of this one. Isn't it cute? Oh, I love it. It's so soft too. Oh, look at the little spider taking a nap in the rudbeckia. Okay, so that is that flower bed. I'm making this video to also give myself tips for next summer, what I want to do differently. So no rudbeckia, and I think instead of pansies in here, maybe we will try a different shade flower. I have done impatiens before, but they struggled. I don't know. So I'll think of something else. Okay, so we're just gonna slowly turn around and we'll walk over here to the potato patch. Last year, remember, it was so weedy and I couldn't keep on top of it. Well, this year I've kept on top of the weeding, and we put up the deer fence quite late in the season because the deer were eating everything in the garden. And I was so frustrated, and my husband said, okay, I can bring home some snow fence. We'll try that. And it has worked. I don't see any tracks in there except my own. And yeah, so it's kept the deer out. The potato plants have made a comeback, and I have dug one up and there is potatoes, so I'm happy to report that. I planted 6 cucumber plants and only 3 survived the spring, which is fine because we're eating cucumber every day, and I'm still picking and there's too much for the two of us, but that's okay. 3 plants was enough. And right here I had a whole row of onions, and I've actually 2 rows of onions, and I've pulled all those and I'm just letting them dry a bit. Sorry, a little shaky. Okay, not much happening over here. The little bushes and trees are, oh, they're growing. They're bigger than they were last year, but still kind of struggling. I think next year I have to water more often and fertilize, and yeah, that should help them. Here, one died. One of our willows died, and I put in an apple tree. And it's just, I grew that from seed from a store-bought apple, and I planted 9 altogether. So yeah, the blueberries did nothing this year. We didn't pick any. I think I picked 1 handful. So the blueberries were a bust this year. Hi. My husband's oat crop is coming along great guns. We planted that for the deer to try and keep them away from our garden. It didn't work. The deer haven't touched it, and maybe the bears will come into the yard because apparently they like oat crops, so we'll see. I'm not crazy about that idea, but there's down the road. Looks nice once it's all mowed. Yeah, so I planted my other apple trees over in that bush over there, and they're doing well. I lost one of my ones over there. I had 5 at one time, and now I have 2. I lost another one this year, so c'est la vie. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to go slow. Here's the house. We're gonna walk over to this flower bed. I've done a lot of gravel weeding. I still have to do more over here, but it's a cool, I need shade to do that, so yeah, I'll get her done. So my geraniums here were really good. They all turned pretty and made nice flowers, and having them on the step like that, you could see them when you drove in, which was nice. In those containers there, I had rudbeckia, and I think that's dracona or something, those spiky plants. Well, the rudbeckia grew too tall and dwarfed out the spiky plants, and they just got all long and leggy and didn't look good in a container. So no rudbeckia in a container. Look at the color on those geraniums. It's so vibrant, it's almost neon. I really love it. I did plant sweet peas in here, but they did grow. They didn't bloom a lot, and the ones that did bloom had no smell. So that was disappointing. I love the smell of sweet peas, so I'll have to find a different type next year. My little false sunflower I thought was a goner. It was so big and beautiful for the past 4 years, I think. And this year nothing came up, and now all of a sudden I'm getting these little shoots. So I hope it makes a comeback for next year. This peony I think had 1 bud. The rudbeckia looks really nice in here, so I like it in here. Makes a nice impact with the bright yellow. And it's a strong plant, like the stems aren't staked or anything, and they're just standing there so nice and proud. So I would plant more in here next year. This is my Stella Doro, and it, I think, is getting too big. I'm gonna have to split it up because it it hardly bloomed at all. This peony, planted at the same time as the other peonies, just went crazy this year. It liked something this year. And so now it's kind of taking over there and dwarfing out my monk's hood, which is usually twice as tall as that. So I think I have to move something in the spring, give it a little more space. My irises need to be divided. And this was just a leftover morning glory that I just stuck in a container. And yeah, it blooms, it's happy. This is my potentilla, and it's doing really good. I gave it a severe haircut in the spring, and ooh, I thought I almost killed it. But it's blooming now. It didn't really bloom until late August, so yeah, pretty little pink flowers on that bush. There's a sad little peony down there. I don't know the difference between that one and the other one, but this guy doesn't seem very happy there. So we may have to move him. My chives need to be split. And this peony is coming along nice. And so is this one. I had a couple blooms on each of those. I've already cut back my delphinium. And it was loaded again, loaded with seeds. I have little baby delphiniums growing all over the place. There's one right there, right there. I don't know if you watched my spring video, but I guess it was more like summer when I planted these. My nasturtiums, and I'd hoped that they'd grow really good and spill over the edge of the flower bed. They didn't really. I think if they would have had more time, they might have, but I planted them very late. So, but they're blooming, and I love nasturtiums. They're such an amazing flower. Apparently, every part of them is edible too, just like a dandelion. Now, here's my row of tomatoes. And did they do okay? Well, you tell me. That's my hand holding this one. I've already picked a whole bunch. I left some on because we just can't eat them that fast. But yeah, they did well again in this flower bed. So this is my south-facing flower bed, and as you can see, the tomatoes love it. I did put tomato spikes in, and yeah, they're doing great. So I will do that again. I will plant the nasturtiums again. Here you can see they really struggled on this side of the bed. I think they just got too hot and dry, and I wasn't home all summer to water them, so that's okay. This side did really nice. I love the look of those, so makes such a nice little compact bush. Down here was lots of weeds, but if you just keep them mowed and whippersnip, they don't look too bad. It's coming in almost like grass. It's filling in. So I'm not going to try weeding that. Originally I had tried, and it was just too hard. You can see I had a little more success on this side, but if you're not out here every day picking, then they take over. So yeah, that's my little garage flower bed. It is east facing, and here you can see I've kept on top of the weeding quite a bit better, but this is the side that people see when they drive in, so I made more of an effort. But yeah, there's the southeast flower bed. Looking good. Okay, so we're gonna slowly cruise around here. Take you over to the shed bed. Sorry for the shaky. I don't have a stick and it's hard to walk and talk, and I'm tripping as I go. Husband's doing some work over there, so we'll go this way. We had a lot of aphids this year, which meant a lot of wasps. Tons of wasps. But they seem to be doing, you know, mellowing out now. So here's my, oh, geez, I stepped in a hole. Sorry, guys. Here's my bathtub bed. And I just sprinkled wildflower seeds in there. And so we got some poppies. There was zinnia, but they never actually bloomed. Maybe these are the zinnia. I'm not sure. None of them have bloomed. A few baby's breath have bloomed. But other than that, didn't do anything. So I think next year we will plant something else in there, not wildflower seeds. I just want it to be loaded with blooms. So maybe petunias. We'll think about that. Here's my little shed bed. I like this bed. It's just very quiet back here and cool. And this is basically where I threw all the leftover plants I had that I'd started from seed and I had too much of. So up in the boxes, geraniums, but they need something more with them. They need some sort of filler plant. Filler. I needed a filler and a spiller for next year. We'll do that next year. And I was just saying to my husband this morning, hadn't seen any bear poop in the yard, so, and I found that. And I believe that is bear poop. Oh my. Yeah, he left it all over. Guess he lives in there. So this was my path, remember? In the spring I'd started a path through here, but I just wasn't home enough, and yeah, Mother Nature just did her thing in there, which is fine. It's still so nice in there. Very peaceful and quiet, and yeah, it's just quite something. But you can see my little fencing or edging, all the dead lumber I piled up along there. It's kind of neat. I'd like to keep going with that idea next year. Make some paths through the forest. Ooh, look at these pretty berries. Those are nice. No doubt poisonous. I never eat anything like that in the forest. Okay, so I guess that's about it. I will just try to avoid all my husband's stuff that's spread all over the yard. Acreage living. Lots of space to spread out. Okay, so I'll just come back over here, and I'm just going to wrap up this video. I think that's all I wanted to say. Oh, a note to myself. I would like to plant flowers, more flowers around the potato patch. Yeah, I think that's it. I'd love to start more flower beds along the other side of the house, but that's probably, this is about good enough for now for my time that I have available to weed and stuff. So the more flower beds you create, the more work you create. So let's just think about that. anyways, we are back where we started, and I think I'm gonna have another sit down and enjoy the rest of this peaceful evening. And yeah, I hope you have a great evening too. Thanks for watching, and I hope I talk to you soon. Bye for now.